Yo, what's good, Waffle Crew? I hope you're all doing awesome. I'm Mark, and welcome back to another round of r/Am I the Jerk stories. If you're into Reddit tales, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and maybe ring that notification bell too. Before we dive into today's stories, I want to give a huge shout out to Annie, Lucy, and Becky Hartley for joining the channel today on YouTube. Your support means everything to me. Some of you have been rocking with me for over a year now. Wild, right? Big thanks to everyone for the love, support, and time you give to the channel. Let's jump into today's stories, sending you all tons of love. I noticed a sneaky little update to a story we covered a few days back. As usual, I'll reread the original post, go through some comments, and then hit you with the update. If you've heard the story before, feel free to skip ahead using the timestamps. That's what they're there for. So let's get into the first story. This one's from a wedding day, titled, Am I the Jerk for Refusing to Walk My Daughter Down the Aisle? And yes, there's an update coming right after. My daughter, 26, and I haven't spoken in years. When she was 15, we discovered she wasn't my biological kid, and my wife had cheated with a friend years ago. Turns out, this friend suddenly wanted to play dad. My wife and I split, my daughter found out the truth, and I told her I loved her no matter what. Naturally, she wanted to connect with her bio dad. It stung, but I tried to be okay with it. She started drifting away from me after that, even when I tried to keep our family bond alive. She just wasn't into it anymore. The final blow came when she was 20 and living with me. We got into a fight because she dropped out of college, hadn't done anything for 3 months, and got mad when I said she needed to either study or work to stay rent-free. She hit me with, "You're not my real dad, so stop acting like it," and said she'd go live with her real father. That crushed me, honestly. I told her if that's how she felt, there was nothing more to say. She moved out to live with him. I was in a dark place for a long time, drinking heavily. My son, 24, was my only reason to keep going. For the first couple of years, I tried reaching out to her, but she wanted no contact. I eventually accepted it and found some peace. My son cut contact with her for a while over this and was furious with her. They still talk sometimes, which is fine by me. Through him, I learned her bio dad passed away in October 2019. And that she's engaged. She reached out saying she knows we haven't talked in a while, but asked if I'd walk her down the aisle. After a long message about how much her actions hurt me, I said no. She didn't want me as her dad anymore, so I stopped seeing her as my daughter. This sparked a huge argument. She claimed it wasn't her fault. She just wanted to know her bio dad. I agreed that wasn't the issue, but how she treated me afterward was. In my heart, I know if her bio dad were still alive, we wouldn't even be talking. It ended with me wishing her a great wedding, but saying I wanted no part in it or her life. My son says she's been venting to our family, claiming I'm ruining her big day, and that parents should love their kids unconditionally. My brother thinks I'm being a jerk, and this is my chance to reconnect. But I'm not interested. Still, everyone seems to have a strong opinion, saying I'm making it tough for her to have the wedding she wants, and it would mean a lot to her. My son's on my side, but the comments are getting to me, and for my own sanity, I'm wondering, am I the jerk? Maybe with her bio dad's passing, something clicked, and she wants to reconcile. Could that be it? Let's check out some comments before the update. Cloth Diaper Fan says, Not the jerk. She decided you're not her dad in any way. You respected that. Now that the other guy's gone, she doesn't get to rewrite the rules. She doesn't want you. She wants someone to fill a role. Maybe your son could walk her down the aisle instead. Not a Robot Honest says, Not the jerk. I'm sorry for what you went through, OP. Some might disagree, but you're not in the wrong. You tried to stay in touch, but she's the one who pulled away. She wanted to know her bio dad. Fine, but she distanced herself from you, the dad who raised her. Now that he's not here to walk her down the aisle, she's treating you like a backup. If she really wanted you there, you'd have gotten an invite, not a request to play a role. Why not ask her brother to do it? It feels like she's more worried about her wedding looking perfect than about your feelings. Grumar says, Not the jerk. She's just upset this might mess up her day. She doesn't care about your emotions. Raymond B says, You're right. If he hadn't passed, you wouldn't even be speaking. She was an adult when she cut you out. It's sad, but it was her choice. Not the jerk. SS Trehan says, Not the jerk. To quote today's kids, she messed around and now she's finding out. Wanting to know her bio dad isn't the issue, but burning bridges with the dad who raised her for over half her life is. She should have been more grateful. Family love should be unconditional, but cutting out toxic family members is okay. Nobody's obligated to sacrifice their peace for someone else. She doesn't get to drop you when it suits her and expect you to step back in without question when her replacement dad isn't around. Now, let's check out the update. It says, "Thank you for the support, especially from other parents who messaged me. It took a group text to everyone who kept bugging me about this. I thought long and hard about what to say, reflecting on all I did to stay in her life and how it ended. It was brutal for my mental health, landing me in a dark place that took therapy and my son to pull me out of. My brother called after, apologizing for pushing me. We had a long talk and I made it clear my decision to stay out of her life is final. He respected that. Since no one else has said anything, I'm hoping they got the message. Some here suggested blocking out the noise from her and others. It was dragging me down. I called her to address her online behavior and the family drama. I said I was sorry she had to face such life-changing moments so young. She made her choices for 6 years, just as I have. I asked her to be honest with herself. If her bio dad hadn't passed, would we even be talking? She didn't answer, but that's okay. It's for her to reflect on. I wished her a beautiful wedding and a happy marriage, but said our relationship is done. I hope she finds peace, as I have. The call ended soon after. She didn't say if she'd stop talking about me online, so I blocked her and others on her mom's side to avoid more hassle. This gave me the peace I needed, and I'm glad I took this advice. That moment when you asked if you'd even be talking if her bio dad were alive and she went silent, that's powerful. It probably hit her hard, like, wow, he's right. Blocking her was smart. The online drama, especially with her mom's side involved, would have kept dragging you down. You don't need that negativity. Absolutely not the jerk, even with the update. Let me know what you think, and we'll move on to the next story. Next up, from Ordinary Bicycle 837, titled, "Am I the Jerk for Taking in My Sister Without Warning My Husband?" Listen up. I was at my parents' house helping my mom with her garden. My younger sister, who's staying there for college, was getting yelled at by our dad over something. He'd checked her phone and found out she's a lesbian. My mom just stood there backing him up while my sister was in tears. I'm pretty quiet, so I couldn't stop my dad's rant. But when he was done, I told my sister to pack her things and brought her to my place. She's sensitive, and my parents can be harsh and rude. I tried texting my husband, but he was in a meeting and rarely checks his phone during work. He was shocked to find my sister at our place. I explained everything, and he's okay with her staying, but he's upset for 2 reasons. I didn't give him a heads up, and he hates surprises, plus he's losing his quiet room where he unwinds after work. He really values that space. I feel like a jerk for not handling it calmly or talking to him first. I was emotional. It was one of the worst scenes I've witnessed. I know how much his quiet room helps his mental health and our relationship. I feel like I didn't prioritize him and made a big decision without him. You didn't just dismiss your husband's feelings, you're worried about his need for space and how it helps your marriage. I bet he gets why you acted fast, even if he doesn't love surprises. Nobody would want a random person in their house, but with the context, he seems to understand. A simple chat about timelines and how to support your sister moving forward could ease his mind. Let's see some comments before the update. Tidal Wave says, "No one's a jerk. You protected your sister in an emergency, and sometimes you have to act fast. You tried to tell him, but it didn't work out. He's allowed to be annoyed about losing his space and not being consulted." Cranberry says, "No one's a jerk. Of course he's thrown off by a surprise guest, but it sounds like he'll get over it. It would have been nice to do this calmly, but you did what you had to for your sister." A deleted user says, "No one's a jerk. You had to get your sister out of a bad spot with no notice. You tried to text your husband, but he didn't see it. As someone who values a quiet home, I get why he's stressed. Private people feel on with others around, and it's exhausting without a space to decompress. He likely agrees she needed to get out, but you two should brainstorm long-term plans for her, like where she'll live when classes resume." Chairman Say 93 says, "No one's a jerk. I can't blame your husband for being thrown off. He deserves a say, but you were just protecting your sister, so you're not a jerk either." Now, the update. This is a weird update. My sister moved out within a month, but her stay opened my eyes. She pointed out things that made me realize our marriage was built around his needs, barely meeting mine. I tried talking to him about small changes to make me feel better, but he wasn't open to it. I suggested couples therapy. He thought it was just about blaming someone. I started therapy with my own money, and he got mad, saying I was wasting it when I was fine. I picked up painting again, which he didn't like. He didn't yell, but tweaked his routine so I had less time to paint, saying he didn't want to deal with the mess. My marriage revolved around keeping him happy, always putting my feelings aside. I left and moved in with my sister, who had an extra room to sublet. It's ironic. I'm in the same spot she was. I'm not happier. I miss him after 9 years, but it's freeing not to spend hours molding myself to his needs. I'm calmer now, thanks to the commenters who planted doubts about my husband. I don't think your now ex had a right to be mad about the lack of warning. His focus on losing his quiet room over your sister's crisis was off. He should have said, "That's awful. Of course she can stay until she figures things out. You made a bold move, and I'm glad you're healing. It's never selfish to prioritize yourself." What do you think about this one? Next story. Am I the jerk for canceling movie night with my boyfriend after what he did? I'm a huge movie buff. Love stuff like Star Trek, The Greatest Showman, Star Wars, and actors like Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert De Niro, and Keanu Reeves. I have rituals for watching new movies. My boyfriend Andy and I, together 9 months, have a Thursday movie night. We don't live together. He has this annoying habit of Googling spoilers during first-time watches. It ruins the vibe and excitement. He's spoiled over 14 movies for me. I talked to him about it, and he promised to stop, even saying he'd leave his phone elsewhere. Last Thursday, he came over to watch a new movie. I had popcorn and drinks ready, excited for the pick. His phone was in the kitchen, so I wasn't worried, but then he started squirming, looking uneasy. A few minutes later, I heard keyboard clicks. I turned and saw him with my phone, clearly looking up spoilers. I was like, "What the hell, you took my phone?" He grinned, promising not to spoil it this time. I grabbed my phone, hoping to enjoy the movie. He kept teasing, asking if I wanted to know the ending. I said no. Minutes later, he blurted out what happens. I lost it, yelling that he's selfish and ruined another movie. He claimed he wanted to ease my mind because I seemed worked up. I canceled movie night, saying I'd have a girls' night instead. He got upset, saying I overreacted over a movie and ruined our special night. We usually hook up after, so I get why it's a big deal to him. He texted later, saying I was too hard on him, that it's a tough habit to break, and he's trying. He wants me to reconsider. I sometimes read ahead for movies myself, but I'd never spoil it for someone else. That's the worst. My friends never spoil either. They always check with me first. He clearly got a kick out of ruining it. I don't blame you for canceling. This is your passion, and he's wrecking it. Not the jerk. Maleficent ad says, "Not the jerk. He's a total jerk. He gets off on ruining things for you." There was a post about a guy who did this to coworkers and they cut him off. He won't stop because your disappointment gives him a power trip that outweighs your feelings. Don't sleep with him after. He's not losing anything if he gets that. Scuba CC says, "Not the jerk. Don't date a movie spoiler. Don't date someone who ruins life's little joys." Mo Valley Girl says, "Not the jerk. This is toxic and manipulative. He makes you seem unreasonable. Is it worth it?" Sassy Heather says, "Not the jerk. Break up. If he can't respect movie night, why would he respect you or the relationship?" Just Kidding Time says, "Not the jerk. I spoil movies for myself but would never share with others. It's rude. This is a red flag. If he ignores you on something small, he'll do it for bigger things. What would you do if someone blurted out a movie ending mid-watch? Let me know in the comments." Last story from an event coordinator close to both sisters who entrusted me with their gender reveal envelopes.